I'm very proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and right now they have a brand new Kaiju number 8 energy formula. You guys know, if you've been keeping up with my videos on my other channel, I love Kaiju number 8. I am extremely proud to say that I've tried this one out. This energy formula of the Kiwi Berry Blitz is absolutely insane, and you get that energy formula itself. There's just enough caffeine in the energy formula itself to get your day started. Another huge plus is the fact that there's zero crash when you use it, so you ain't got to worry about being Konoha and not being able to perform because you ain't got the energy. Also, you get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are going to get your day going, and best of all, there's zero sugar, which is a huge plus to me. You guys know that running multiple YouTube channels, it's not an easy thing to do. And so I do time to time need an energy drink to pick me up. And so I go with G Fuel because it's a lot healthier than some of the energy drinks that are out there. Use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. When you click on my affiliate link down in the description box, you can purchase the Kaiju number 8 box as well as any other anime themed G Fuel products that strike your fancy. Doing so really helps support the channel. Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that popped up in the comment section of the last chapter review that I think it is warranted its own video to talk about, since I did not talk about this in the chapter review, which is the possibility that Sarada doesn't even know she has the Mangekyou Sharingan. So in today's newest Naruto Explain video, I want to go over that possibility as well as look at the impact that it would have on the narrative if this winds up being the case, and whether or not this is a good idea, which is a reminder, if you've not seen the chapter review is up on the channel. Now, being fully transparent here, my stance, it has not changed at all in regards to this topic. In fact, I'm gonna double down on the fact that I think that it's more fans are just being impatient and waiting for Sarada to use her Mangekyou, and that this isn't a situation where she awakened the eye and she didn't know it. It's for that reason I'll probably meme it on the thumbnail in a way that pokes fun at the entire situation, like I do with a lot of topics that I don't agree with. But let's look at the why behind the whole situation in terms of the belief she doesn't have the Mangekyou Sharingan, in terms of she doesn't know that she's awakening. So many fans believe that since she has yet to use it in battle with the Claw Grimes, that she doesn't have the Mangekyou, and in the battle with Hidari, awakened Shinju, she's never used a Mangekyou when she fought him alone very briefly. And then you have the current chapter, as she's teaming up with Boruto, she doesn't even use her Sharingan at all, let alone even show a hint of using the Mangekyou as having been an option. I'll be the first one to say that going into the Hidari arrival in Konoha, I thought the battle would be the best time to show off the eye because I thought it would have the biggest narrative payoff. Part of me is even disappointed that we didn't see her use a Mangekyou in this point. Against the Claw Grimes, it made sense, and I'll forever die on the hill that it would have been dumb for her to use the Mangekyou on fodder such as the Claw Grimes. If she ended up having to use that power against someone as weak as the creatures that Chocho and Shikadai could battle, it would become less of a conversation of how strong did Chocho get? How strong did Shikadai get? And it'd be more so of Sarada didn't really improve if she needed to use the Mangekyou against that level of an enemy. However, I'll play devil's advocate and I'll use a example from Naruto's manga itself. Since I know from the different combos I've had with some of you guys in the comment section, as well as the audience demographic information I have, that I've been in the fandom longer than 35% of the people who watch the channel that are 25 years old and younger. I've been reading Naruto scanlations since 2002, a full year before Viz Media ever got the rights to release the manga in English. Sarada using her Mangekyou against those Claw Grimes, there is precedent for her to have done so, and I believe it will be just as pointless as what Sasuke did in volume 44 of the Naruto manga when he used the Mangekyou for the first time against some random cloud ninja who was so much of a fodder that he wasn't even named in the 4th data book that covered volumes 44 to 72 of Naruto's manga. It's such a blink and you miss it moment that for the most part people don't even remember the scene. It was overkill. Team Taka, they had already beaten up the random Cloud Village Jonin, and Sasuke only needed to use basic Sharingan Genjutsu to get the same information that he would have gotten. Reason number 900 that I continue to say Sasuke's Mangekyou burned out because he was spamming it like an idiot, and I think Kishimoto understood that, because after that he decided to cool the jets and make us wait on seeing Sasuke's Mangekyou Sharingan powers. We saw one power using his Killer Bee with the Amaterasu, and we had to wait a full year in real time before we saw him use the other two powers during the 5 Kage summit. However, going back to Sarada, yeah, I did think that Hidari was a prime chance, but we didn't get it. Is that enough to say that she doesn't know she has the Mangekyou? I'm not too sure we can say that, but if we play devil's advocate, this wouldn't be the first time we've had an Uchiha awaken a power and they didn't even realize it. Sasuke, ironically, is the prime example, Sarada's own father. So Sasuke awakened his Sharingan during the Uchiha massacre, and the guy didn't even know he had it until after Itachi died, because Sasuke was so traumatized that he suppressed the entirety of that memory, keeping only parts of it, though there was foreshadowing given in the Japanese version of the manga, in the Bell test in particular, which Viz Media screwed up the translation for that back in 2003. Sasuke says that he fully remembered him being Itachi, crying that night being the Uchiha massacre. He wanted to know why he, again, Itachi, was crying, which was our sign that Sasuke had suppressed his memories. Even someone like Kakashi, who, albeit isn't a full-blooded Uchiha, because he's not an Uchiha, he didn't even know that he'd awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan. He killed Rin, and his Sharingan and Obito's Sharingan suddenly went from having a 2-tomo to having a 3rd tomo immediately, and then instantaneously evolving into a Mangekyou. Yet Kakashi, for a full 15.5 years, never even knew that he had the Mangekyou Sharingan. So yes, there is precedent for this to be the case with Sarada. It would be a great homage to what we've already seen. And look at it from this perspective, Sarada, she was in a very traumatic moment. The guy who she admired, Naruto, he was stated to be dead, so she was already going into a tailspin. Everyone was out to kill Boruto, someone who she had only just learned had previously been killed and brought back to life, and she saw with her own eyes that the guy who killed Boruto was once again trying to finish the job. She saw her own father hunting down his student, and between all that grief that she felt from Naruto's death, Boruto's helpless situation, and the prospect of Boruto being killed by the person that Boruto admired the most, his master Sasuke, her own father, it drove her into despair so great she awakened the Mangekyou, which, despite what people are saying, that doesn't retcon the Mangekyou Sharingan awakening. Did a whole video explaining that. So Sasuke never verbally said that she didn't have the Mangekyou. It was more that he saw it and realized what those eyes meant, and he thought to himself, oh shit, my daughter has the Mangekyou, and she was babbling on about Sasuke needing to save Boruto. The rest of their conversation, it happened off screen after that. Is it possible that Sasuke heard how serious the situation was and he just rushed off to save Boruto immediately without saying anything to Sarada? Yes, you could argue that's the case. When Sarada was having her breakdown, Boruto in real time was being cornered by the members of Team 10, and Momoshiki was literally in the process of taking over his body because Boruto's karma seal cut on against his will. Boruto did not initiate it. Kawaki was not in the vicinity with the karma seal activated, so this was not karma resonance, and Boruto was warning Momoshiki, do not harm my friends. If Momoshiki was not taken over, Boruto would have had no need to say, hey fam, don't you even think about it. That's when Sasuke suddenly swooped in and he saved Boruto. So yes, I could see this being the case, and logically, it makes a lot of sense. I'm not arguing the logic on it. It is very logically sound. However, I am just a tad bit skeptical for the following reason. So I find it really hard to believe that Sasuke, knowing what he was about to do by saving Boruto, would effectively be treason by saving him, and he'd never be able to see his daughter ever again for a really long time. It might even be a situation where he's gone away from the village so long that he returns and finds out he's a grandfather. That Sasuke wouldn't tell his daughter about the Mangekyou Sharingan she had and give her the warning not to overuse her eyes, or else she'll go blind in the way that Sasuke did after a few weeks of time, because he spammed the Mangekyou the way that Naruto's blood pressure should have shot up after eating all that salty instant ramen for 19 years of his life before he married Hinata and actually had a home-cooked meal made for him for the first time in his life, not counting fillers. So forget everything you saw in Naruto's anime and Naruto Shippuden's anime. So I don't think that we see Sasuke not dropping off that kind of a warning to Sarada before he left. However, let's say if he did leave, again, it would line up. I wouldn't argue against it. It would definitely line up. I would be very disappointed if that ended up being the case. I think it'd be a disservice both to his daughter as well as to his own character, to the point we'd have to put Sasuke in the game from Hunter x Hunter conversation when it comes to parental skills as a father. However, let's say that this does end up being the case and she doesn't know she had the Mangekyou Sharingan. Is there any real payoff to this being the case? I think you're in for a mixed bag if that ends up being the approach. Allow me to explain. It will be kind of cool to see someone actually learning to use their Mangekyou Sharingan as they first consciously awaken it. We haven't really seen that before in this series. When people got in the Mangekyou Sharingan in the past, so Uchiha, they just had it downloaded with some invisible guidebook that tells them what their 2 Mangekyou Sharingan powers are, what the Susanoo is, and how to use all of their powers. It was just automatic. So it will be a change in that aspect. It might also break the lore in the continuity if that ends up being the case for the very same reason. It's a change to the aspect itself. The only real exception that we have to this would be Kakashi, but again, Kakashi was not an Uchiha. When he showed up after 2.5 years of the time skip between Naruto Part 1 and Naruto Part 2, Kakashi was like, oh yeah, I've got this new type of Sharingan and I've got this new jutsu, Naruto, but it takes me a lot of time to build up the chakra to use it. To a degree, it makes sense that Kakashi would have to actually learn how to use his Mangekyou powers, what they are and what the limits are, and figure out the weaknesses, because again, he's not an Uchiha. All the rest of the Uchiha, they got their eyes, they cut them on, and they knew right away, hey, this is Tsukuyomi, hey, this is Amaterasu, this is flame control, this is my power, and they knew what to do with it and they were good to go. I think you risk hurting Sarada's character if you end up going that route. Paying homages to see what you've had happen in the past in a series, there's nothing wrong with that. It's always nice to see sequels do that because it pays respect to what happened before it. However, that's something that only really works when it's done within reason and there's a clear narrative payoff for it. It isn't done as a cheap fan service moment, which is what I feel this moment would end up being if this ends up being the case. Cheap fan service doesn't add anything more to the story. That being said, if this is indeed the route that this story chooses to go and she was never ever made aware that she had the Mangekyou, it'll come down to how it's presented to us as readers. I am a huge proponent, you guys know this, of waiting to see how things shake out, regardless as to how long it takes, because this is an ongoing manga and you have to have patience. Not everything is going to get shown up front or shown in the next chapter or even in the next 2 or 3 chapters, something that my fellow readers of the Gray Man know all too well. It's a quarterly manga where every 3 to 4 months we have to wait and only get between 15 and 36 pages per chapter, and the plot points are still being addressed from a year ago. My fellow readers who read Attack on Titan as it was going on, you know how long it took us years to get some plot points addressed. So it could be worse, and Attack on Titan was monthly like Boruto. I will say I'm keeping an open mind here with this Sarada conversation. I think the story is in a situation where we can trust it enough, and I have enough love for the Naruto franchise. I'm going to be patient, but I do personally think that this is a little bit silly. Hence again, I'm going to troll using the thumbnail. Which, speaking of thumbnails, over here on the left we have the newest anime explained video, and over here on the right we got the Boruto chapter review for those of you guys who've not seen it yet. So click here to find out what I had to say in the chapter, because I had a lot to say.